colleagues, the different intellectuals who are here today, the students, the administrative staff. Thank you very much for this opportunity. This particular conference in my life is slightly different, and I will appreciate and share this through my life. Because I think for more than I have been witnessing 30 more plus conferences, but this is very special because this is in a place which has a social message that you can contribute to a particular community, to an area which is in a slight remote. So I'm very happy here, and I thank Professor Mahanti, Dr. Sunita, everyone for this opportunity. And my topic is slightly different, though it says AI, but I'll be talking a lot on to social aspects, the business aspects, and then I'll be trying to get you into the understanding of why AI is important and how you should use it. So the topic is ethical and responsible use of artificial intelligence in digital age. We all know we all are into digital age, and there are lots of things that surround us. In precise, I think we are living with mobiles, means we are living in a digital age. So if you just imagine one day, you wake up in the morning, you don't have a mobile, what happens? You are stuck. Again, you find your mobile, you don't have internet. What happens? The same thing. Okay? So that is the impression the digital technology is doing. It's in our lives today. Okay? So just a brief introduction. I am already introduced. So I'll just concentrate on this. My area is digital business ecosystem design. Basically, I am teaching software engineering and business information systems, and this is where I am concentrating nowadays, how emerging technologies are important in business. So my main concentration here is how do you generate value? Because if an information system is not generating value, it's not going to be with you. And it's not going to be sustainable. So that again puts up the idea of how AI is going to be a part of the different technologies that are emerging. So you can get me in touch with my details. It's very simple. I'm lucky, this is what I was saying to Professor Devnath. I'm the only person who has dipanjal@hotmail.com. So if you know my name, you can ping it to anything, @hotmail, @yahoo. So I was lucky to get this without paying any fee. Okay, I have this. Don't need it. Yeah, thank you. So this is the place where I come from. This is a beautiful city, Pokhara, and I teach in Pokhara University. You can see this is the university I am. This is the tourism capital of Nepal. So if you visit Nepal, if you don't visit here, your visit is incomplete. So we live in Himalayas, yeah. And then I will also relate that my roots with India are also very similar. Yesterday I had the privilege to meet Shri Balaji, the Indian freedom fighter. Just to let you know that my great-grandfather was also part of Azad Hind Fauj. Yes. Just to make it more precise, I lost one of my brothers while he was serving in the army in Amarnath base camp. And my mama is a winner of a Sena medal. So I have so many things with India. So whenever I come back to India, it's like visiting my home again and again. And I was educated in Himachal Pradesh, Shalakakara. So that's why I can speak more than people come. Okay. So I will start on building up with something, the basic idea, which out of my experiences, I think is very important. So the thing is, data is the new oil. Yeah. Like you need energy, so in information technology, data is very important. You talk about AI, you talk about information systems, you talk about business, you talk about governance, you talk of anything. You need to have the data. So data is the fundamental. So I classify it as data is the new oil. So you need to know many things about data. So see, how are data collected? This is explainable. You are every time clicking something, so you are giving data, a lot of data. A lot of data is going into the different systems, Facebooks, social sites, Google, yes? And data is intensive, data is rich. I'll explain you how. So see, this is a snapshot which is by Ray Counter. How much data is processed in one day. You can see here, Twitter, 500 million, 4 petabytes, okay? So this is what is happening. So take a look at a day in a wonderful world of data. So much of data we are using. We are just surrounded by data, only data, okay? And this is what emerging technologies are doing. So I'll make it slightly specific. See, if you're talking about IoT, you have location-specific information, which is real-time data. Mobiles, they give you the real-time data, preciseness. Okay, so the kind of data that these technologies are. Okay, so what are we into? So see, the paradigm is changing. Mostly of the daily tasks and services and can now be performed with the aid of digital applications or gadgets. Mobile is a gadget. So you are using or you're doing your daily work through the applications and the gadgets which are digitally controlled. So see, even high-tech companies like Google, Facebook, Netflix, Amazon all have access to huge amount of data. Then this phenomenon suggests that the business of the data will become a significant sector for the global economy. So in the coming days, if you can manipulate data, if you can utilize data, if you can manage data, you are going to be the leader. This is slightly, I think, your professor for the business can explain you how information is very important. Yes, we say that information is power, and that is very important to understand. And then future looks into the ways data can improve our lives. So we are using data to improve our lives. What is mobile doing to you? It's controlling your data. You can contact people, you can make transactions, you know your social life, you can get connected to the friends. So data is very important. Now another thing that has happened with the computing technology is that we have come up with the immense computational power. See here, this is a snapshot right from 1940s to 2017, how things have changed. Right from the data era until 1940, we are talking about the capsule networks. Yes, you're talking about the deep learning, you're talking about the reinforcement. And this needs a huge, immensely powerful computing machines, high-end computing systems. So we have achieved that, okay? So you have powerful computers, you have GPUs, and then they are working like humankind. Like your brain can process, the same way computers can process. So that level has been achieved. Then, so remember what happened earlier? Earlier we were talking about, we were writing the line of codes, which were called algorithms, and then we were feeding into the systems. But now, you don't do that. You feed the data and that will be recognizing what kind of algorithm is being run. So we are on to the reverse technology. Yes, this is what AI is doing. This is what is the age of AI. Or this is what AI will do in future. Okay? This is another one. See, we can think about this. Do you think technology is challenging us? Yes or no? Yes, in many ways. Yes. See, like when you get up early in the morning, there are a few things that you're required to do. Similarly, your mobile, your information has become a part of your life. So how they are challenging you? So this was two things that happened in the AI. That one was the Deep Blue beats the chess world champion Gary Kasparov. We all know this. So it was won by a supercomputer. That's what. And recently, Google DeepMind AlphaGo, this learned to play Go alone, and then it made the world champion Lee Sedol lose it. Okay? So what happens is, this is what is going to happen with the technology. Technology is going to challenge you over time. I am teaching in the two different streams. When I go to business school, I teach information systems. When I go to engineering school, I again teach computer science and engineering. When I go to business school, I say to my students, become so intelligent that you overpower the machines. And when I go to engineering school, I say the reverse. I say, make machines so powerful that they overpower the humans. So I'm living in the two breakups of my life. Yeah. So then, if you see here, this is what has been done. Yeah, the two bits above are examples of the virtually unlimited boundaries and application of artificial intelligence in our daily life. So, the more power, the more responsibility. This is what is going to happen. We as computer scientists, we as social entrepreneurs, we as managers, the government officers, we have to take care of the technology versus us, because we cannot lose the value of humans. So technology is very important, but then we need to find it very closely to humans. So that is, the more power we have from the computers, the more responsible we should become. So this is what technology is doing. So many technologies, I've just listed few. You find so many VR technologies, MR, blockchains, machine learning, data mining, GIS, What are these doing? These are giving you personal experience. They're affecting your life. They're creating transformations in your life. You are living a better life. See, I'm here because of information technology. So better life. You go to a restaurant, don't carry the money, but you confirm you have a UPay, you have a mobile pay. So that is changing your personality. You don't know anything, you log into a chat GPT, you take the answer from there. So your life has become better. Your generation is more knowledgeable than our generation at that time. Okay? So, but then you also have issues like security, privacy, and trust. Okay, so that are also coming along with the information technology and the technologies which are coming. So have you ever thought how much data is being collected and how? And what is going to happen with this data in future? Okay, so just let us take an example. See, social science. Have you ever realized how much data social science are collecting of you and how they can use it in future? This is one of the reasons that I will be relating it with the responsible use of AI. So that is why I opened up talking about why data is important. Okay? So see, they take up your personal information, behavioral information, location, collection interactions, search, browsing history, media, payment, transaction, third party, whatever you do, a single click is also recorded. So that means you are being tracked every click twice. So that much of data is being collected by these social sites. And we never thought what is going to happen. But let me give you a scenario. See, if we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, data is basic. If you don't have a good data, you cannot train your models. Whether you talk of supervised models, whether you talk of unsupervised models. What we do? See, Elisa, she talked about the data pre-processing. There are so many professors who are working on different algorithms. And like Professor Suresh, he was telling that he had a limited data, but still he optimizes models. So data is very important. Okay? So good data, because they give you features. It depends on the data, what type of training you are doing to the quality, improve the quality of the models. Pre-processing, hyper-tuning, computational resources, see volume and variety of data. What are the parameters of data you are using? Okay? And then accuracy of labeling, accuracy of data. It should not be fake. Yeah, it should not have noise into it, because that will disturb the machine learning model. So I'm just correlated. See, I'm talking at the one hand, I'm talking about how social sites are taking up your data, how much data, how precise data, how rich data. And then on the other hand, I'm saying how AI is requiring this data. So then these two will mix. You won't know what is going to happen. Okay? Just take up a simple example. This is what I actually tell my students. Suppose there is a handsome gentleman outside, you are married. Assume you are not married. Okay? So suppose he has a choice to marry 3 girls. One is his girlfriend, the other is shown by his parents, and the one is recommended by the friend circle. Now, he may not know whom to marry because he's like top 3. But let me tell you, Facebook tell you. The Facebook is going to tell whom he's going to marry. Why? Because he'll be tracking the particular person. He'll be clicking, he'll be going by. So Facebook will have an idea whom he likes. So Facebook can predict. So but social sites like Facebook will be able to predict who will be your ultimate choice. This is because they have a precise data. Have you ever thought in the beginning we had only 2 buttons for the Facebook? Now they've distinguished into 5. They're calculating your sentiments, what you love, what you care, what you hate, what you dislike. This is not a simple model. There are thousands of psychologists and behavioral scientists and engineers working behind. They are all trying to get your data to enrich their data resources. And then they are going to employ these AI models. Think the next level of capability is this. This is going to be devastating. If it goes for the good purpose, it's going to be a great achievement. But if it is reversing, then it just will be catastrophic. Okay? So how much data does a social site know about you and how they can use AI to predict your life is a questionable state. So isn't this interesting? What can be the ultimate use in future? What do you think can be the ultimate thing in future? Can anyone widely say this is what is going to happen? The gentleman with the cap, you look very interesting. Anyone? So see, we cannot say it right now, because we haven't seen the implementation. They are still on the very preliminary stage of collecting data. Professor Taniwo was asking me, if I have to ask you what generation of AI we are into? I could not answer him correctly, but though I defended it, then I reversed this question to Professor Devna. I asked her, at what AI generation we are living? He said, initial. It's just starting. And I think this is what I told you also. Okay? So that is what's going to happen. AI is going to be very, very complex. But they need to have data. And data are coming from social sites, mobiles, touch points, sensors, everywhere. Even when you're entering the airports, you are sensed by CCTV, the data is going there. There's so much is happening nowadays. So I will just now try to relate how data has created few incidents in the past. I will just list one. Data breach and the role of AI. This happened this was known as Cambridge Analytica scandal in 2018. And this data was used for the political purpose and interpreted, okay? So it was 87 million Facebook users. Data was harvested without their consent. And then this was used as to build a psychological profile and to use a target them with a personalized political campaign, okay? Even right now we hear this is happening with Trump and Kamala Harris. So a lot of war is going on with this, okay? So, but that's always there, is going to be there. That's a part of the geopolitics, political system, business, governance that goes on. The simple part is this one. This raised concern of the transparency, inadequate data protection, unauthorized data sharing, and the role of social media in influencing the political outcomes. This is very important. So given a thought how AI can be lethal in such cases, it's manipulating people, it's manipulating community, it's manipulating mass. Okay, so that's where it is important. There are other things happen. You can just Google and find a lot of data breaches happening. So LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook again, Clubhouse, Snapchat, many more. The central question here is, how can this massive data and AI integration can create impact on our lives? Either they will make it better or they will make it worse. That is the central question. So that is why we need to understand how to use AI responsibly. What are the ethical dilemmas? How do we control this technology? So what if AI misuses data? This is I'm taking from the very example of a Facebook. It has collected your Facebook data, now it misuses it. How can it? It can create personalized manipulation. It can change the character of a person. You see, there is a lot of war going on the Facebook. Somebody is writing good about Shah Rukh Khan. Somebody is writing bad about Shah Rukh Khan. Somebody is after Salman Khan. This is important. And these thus influences people. You say something, the word called as viral. And viral is creating an impact on the personal life of people. Another one, behavioral targeting. They understand your behavior. You're using Amazon, they will track your behavior, what you choose to buy. And they will follow you through everything. Okay? Then, identity theft and fraud. You may have your duplicate profiles coming up. We are into the world of surveillance and profiling. Where are you going? What are you doing? Whom are you stalking? Everything. Such important data. Even your introvert data is being calculated here. And they're always learning it. You know, it's not only collecting data, but they're also understanding what you as a human are doing it. And that can be very, very lethal. So, AI further concerns that are raised. See, is AI, and then the technical issues with AI itself. We cannot guarantee AI models to be 100% accurate. That was Professor Dev, Professor Satish, Professor Vishamba, we all told about this. 100% testing a system is not possible. Those who have studied software engineering, they know it. We go by the Pareto principle, 80-20. Okay? So, how do they bias and discriminate? See, computer programs are made by humans. The algorithms are written by humans. So if you don't like something, you just put it there. That's a biased algorithm. And if AI is using that, what will happen? Okay? Then security, privacy concern. And then another important part, are they implemented ethically? There are so many things happening at the background. Do you guarantee that whatever Facebook is doing is legally approved? No one of us knows that. But they're doing it. Okay? Then, how about dependence on AI? Think of a world where only AI is being used. What will happen at one day when all of you are into AI? Yes, you will be like robots. Fine. Then, is it a tool for job displacement. Another concern that is coming up, Industrial 4.0 said that people will be replaced by robots. Then we're talking about Industry 5.0, where we say that we need to have a human interference to decide the final goals. Okay? Then, can we guarantee that yeah, that's what I've told about. So we cannot. And there are so many other issues that are surrounding AI. Okay? So another part is, like AI is working in three: pre-model, in-model, and post-model. So pre-model will dictate the in-model will dictate the post-model. So all three are very important. If you go wrong here, you are training the wrong model. You're doing something which is not going to help you. And this is totally dependent on data. That's what is important. Okay? Then pre-model and then black box model and hard to compute. We are going with something called as black box model. So that we are only doing the functional testing. We don't have an idea how the output is produced. Okay? So that is one of the little things. So do we understand the features learned by the models? So here it is not trivial to assure that they are learning features that are relevant to the domain. Domain is required. Okay? So this is where AI is sensitive. So impact of AI. Where is AI going to impact? See, everywhere. Everywhere. You cannot stop the boom of AI. Like some few years ago, we were starting with the ICT, Information and Communication Technology. We have achieved that now. Now the next competing generation is artificial intelligence. And if you don't adopt it, you are left behind. Okay, so you have to run, you have to jog with AI. So you cannot ignore it. Why? Because it will impact your culture. It will impact the channels you're talking to. People, strategies, policies, governance, knowledge, technology, growth, innovation. Everywhere, it will impact every aspect of human endeavor. Wherever you find human beings involved, you will find AI application. Okay? So, how do we control AI? Or what is responsible AI? See, responsible AI is only a keyword that's going to be coined after this boom of AI. So it's a framework that allows you, that helps you, that actually lets you know how do you use AI. Two things that I have actually identified. So AI has to be explainable, number one. The models that you are using it, you should be telling people this is how the output is coming. This is why you are using it. That's very important. Then secure. Your data has to be secure. Then human-centered. Don't make things that will take humans away. The technology is for humans. Is to solve the life of humans, to make the life easy of humans, not to put them in trouble. That's very important. Then, monitorable. You should be able to monitor. Whatever you get is authentic, is right, is correct. There are so many incidents that have happened in earlier past. Tariq 25 was one of the devastating cases where a machine was injecting the dose and it injected a wrong medicine and then there were so many deaths happened. Okay? So AI can be on the same part. Then transparent, fair and unbiased. See, when I talk of fair and unbiased, this is important. Because you are coding the algorithm. So your emotions, your priorities can change the system. Okay? So it's very important for you to take the AI as a very responsible stream. So how do we use AI responsibly? There are so many things happening. Okay? A very simple part is that don't use machines for something that contradicts the law. By law, it's everything. Human values, okay? It is about the state law, yes? It's about your organization law, the policies, okay? So you don't have to. So EU is working, so you can go to this EU AI ethics guideline. Then there is OECD, which is working on AI. Then you have GDPR and CCPA. These are internet-based laws which are formed. Because I think India has its own law. And then you can follow the laws or the norms of the concerned country and organization. See, because this social science are blooming so much, they're coming into a lot of existential reform. Every country has now made it mandatory that those particular organizations must register in a particular country and follow the norms. Okay? We all know this, that China blocks all the social science. Why? Security, cultural disintegration. That's what they're doing. Implementing AI practices. How do you practice that? See, put AI as an important part of your system design. Suppose your college is trying to make an information system. You should think from the scratch that AI will be there. How do you use AI? For what purpose do you use AI? What is the objective of AI in your system design? So put it into your life cycle design of the system. Then, technical solutions. Whenever you are using artificial intelligence, make it explainable. You open up a code, you open up a design, you should be able to convince your customer, this is why I'm using AI. This is what it will do. Okay, what AI can do, how they can control it, and if something catastrophic happens, how to take care of it. Okay, so training and education is very, very important for all developers, users, and all the stakeholders. Another aspect of responsible AI is use it responsibly. See, there is a word which is called netigate. I don't know if you have heard of this word or not. Netigate says that when you're posting something on internet, please don't forget your etiquettes. Don't forget your manners. Don't write anything that you want to, because it's open space. So it is the same thing. When you're using AI, think that you have to use it responsibly. You want to make the life of the people more simplified and value-added, not to worsen them. Okay? Building public trust in AI technologies. This is going to happen. Because if AI is creating something which takes the trust of the people away, then business houses will be in trouble. Yes, governance structures will be in trouble. So they have to know that AI is for their good. It's not for the bad. Yes, laws that account for the liability of decision-made by. See, this is also important. Autonomous system. Nowadays you have cars, automobiles, which are all fitted with the softwares. An accident happens because of the malfunctioning of the software. Okay, so what is or who is liable? You have to think in these terms. Okay, so when you're coding an automatic system or even coding automation softwares, you have to take care of it. Continuous validation and monitoring for laws, regulations, and policies. Technology changes every 6 months. So you have to update your policies. It's not that you made it in 2049 till 2024. You are using the same one. No. Then human rights, particularly privacy, freedom of speech and dignity. And another important part, emotional harm. I don't know how many of you have witnessed it. I think the lady students are a part of this. Yes? And it's a very simple one. You posted a photo and somebody wrote it down. You look ugly. That matters. Yes? Or a person is putting up, like Aman sir puts up a poem. Yes? And then you say, wow, what a poem. You will dance. But you say, what have you written? Definitely it will impact. So emotional pain, harm should be controlled. Okay? So, if you ask me what is the future direction for ethical and responsible AI? So there are needs. You can work onto this area. This is a new area. Develop frameworks. Develop the structures that are aligned with the technological advancements. Collaborate among government, international organizations, and private sectors. Because IT is a global technology. It's not only looking for your own particular country or a particular area. You have to think globally. So right from your local to global, you have to collaborate with everyone who's a part of it. Yes? Establish comprehensive policies for AI ethical issues. Right from data collection to usability to training model, everything has to be very clear. I asked one of the guys yesterday, I said, how do you control data? He told me that you take a declaration. That is consent. But still, consent doesn't allow you to use data randomly. But what you can do is you can remove the names of the person, hide their personal things, and still train the model. So that won't affect their privacy. You don't send the data out. Anonymity is one of the part that you do it. Okay? And only collect the data which is required. Then develop robust regulatory frameworks, very important. If something goes wrong, how do you punish them? Raise public awareness of AI ethics. What is AI and what are the ethical dilemmas? Foster multidisciplinary collaboration. See, computer science is multidisciplinary. Everywhere it is, right from your health sector to governance to politics to business, everywhere. So you have to think in the holistic form. Okay? And then proactively anticipate future ethical dilemmas. What can happen? What if? What if? So these are the scenarios that you should build up. And this is important when you're a student of PCA studying a software engineering, studying a system design. So this is very important for you to understand. So at the last, I don't have a very long conclusion. Just one line. AI is a boon if we implement it wisely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
marriage you are talking about. 20 years back, we had studied a problem known as stable matching algorithm. I don't know whether or not you people have studied. But please Google it. Stable matching algorithm, which is very similar to our ancient Indian system. 36 gunas. You know, 36 gunas yes. Right? So that stable matching algorithm, which was developed in back in the 80s, later part of 80s, that is very much relevant today also. Second thing about the ethical guidelines in the training. The government of India is going to bring out a policy document on ethical guidelines on use of AI in the health informatics. And I'm a part of that membership members, which is guiding the board in bringing the policy. So ethical issues are very much relevant today because abuse of AI is also happening. And you have discussed very well that. Thank you very much.
Satish sir, Vishamba sir, Naren Manti sir, Professor Devandit. So today I'm going to give a presentation on, because I've heard people who have talked about technical themes related to the role of artificial intelligence in our lives. Being a literary person and a poet, I'm going to talk about the role of AI in poetry. So my topic will speak about AI intervention in creative pursuit, the algorithmic methodology of AI in reproducing poetry. I've tried my best. I'm not that technically sound, but being an engineering dropout, I understand how a bit of mathematics helps in AI reproduction of poetry. That is, creating a similar rhyming pattern, creating a similar syllabic pattern, rhythmic pattern, and similar kind of emotional pattern in a poetry, but not exactly. That will be my conclusion at the end. So, Nishant, next slide. Okay, so the introduction is the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence has extended its influence across various creative fields, as in music, words, visual arts, and literature. So we have discussed more of technology and technical aspects, but I'm going to talk about the role of AI in creative pursuit, like poetry basically. My whole target will be poetry. So and also how AI resonates with the structural kind of poetry adherence. So next slide, Nishant. So math versus poetry. If we go ahead with math versus poetry, poetry is nothing else but the logical and mathematical way by which a poet expresses emotions, experiences, hurts, and the love. I'll give an example, students. Please follow. So if I say, the boulder was kept high and it fell from an eye. An example. The boulder was kept high and it fell from an eye. So a poet will say in this way, but how will the Mother Earth express this thing? She would rather say that the height was h and s was ut plus half at square. So u was initially 0. So finally the distance traveled was half at square. This is again a mathematical expression of the distance that happened from the top of the building to the bottom of the building. That's the ground. So poetry and mathematics are somehow related. We'll understand later with more of expression. So mathematics is nothing. Yes, ma'am, I'll complete, ma'am. Mathematics is nothing but the abstract and sentimental way of the nature, the cosmos, and the earth express equations, formula, identities which govern the future of the working of the universe. Nishant, next slide. So math versus poetry again. Poetry is structure, patterns, and abstraction. Both are related. And if we see the rhythm, meter, rhyme, which can be described mathematically, poetry has this kind of beauty. If we talk about sonnet, which is a 14-line poem. So it has a pattern like ABAB, CDCD, EFEF and GG. 14 lines, this is the rhyming pattern. Nishant, next slide. Okay, so math versus poetry. Beyond formal structure, both poetry and math rely on abstraction. Abstraction, you understand, is kind of emotional thing or emotion. A mathematical equation distills a complex real problem into a real life situation. Complex real problem. In this way, poetry and mathematics are linked by a shared quest to uncover hidden truths about patterns, structure and abstraction, offering a unique lens to perceive the world. Next slide, Nishant. Nishant, yeah. So what is a meter in a poetry? Students, I like to explain this to you. What is a meter in a poetry? Although it's a very complex thing, but I have simplified it very easily. So meter is something like that. First we understand the study of meter in a poetry is called a prosody. Prosody. So meter is a pattern of stressed and unstressed syllable. I tell you what, I'll not explain all this. Suppose there's a word called banana. Banana. So ba is something which has stressed. Na is unstressed. And then again banana. Then last word is stressed. So it's like stressed, unstressed and stressed. So it's kind of it's 3-syllable pattern, stressed, unstressed and stressed. So this is what, these are called meters in poetry. So we'll understand later, stress, unstressed and unstressed syllable. Next slide, Nishant. So types of poetic meters, I'll complete very soon. Types of poetic meters. So one is an iamb. Iamb is what? It's an unstressed and stressed syllable which has a sound like da-dum. Da is unstressed and dum is a stress. Which example is destroy. Des, unstressed. Troy is stressed. Next is talkies. Talkies what? Da-dum, which is garden. Garden is a stressed and unstressed. Then comes spondees. Spondees what? Da-dum, both are stressed. For example, blood red, both are stressed. Next comes tactiles, which are dada, which is elephant. Okay. Next comes anapest, which is unstressed, stressed, which is understand. This way it happens. Please, Nishant, next slide. Meter poetry, this is not very important, but I'll tell you. There are 3 types of poetry, with formal verse, with blank verse and free verse. Free verse is like in Hindi we call it mukta, it's free verse. Next slide, Nishant. Okay. So now I talk, the main thing which has come is probability in poetry. Probability in poetry. So we'll talk about how probability in mathematics can be applied in poetry. So, probability can be applied to predict the possible direction of a poet's next thought or stanza. But this involves modeling of a poem's progression as the poem moves ahead, which is inherently creative and influenced by the number of factors like word choice, we'll discuss this very interesting later on, theme, rhyme, meter, and even cultural context, social context, cultural context. Nishant, next slide. Okay, so there are certain aspects of probability, like Markov's chain. Markov's chain is what? I'll give you an example, I'll not discuss the theoretical part. If we analyze poets' previous works as in, suppose the poet's work is love and is followed by loss 40% of time. Next, joy 30% of time and despair 30% of time. Based on this, if the poet has already written a stanza, about love, we can say that the assigned probability is what next might be, based on all his previous works, right? Next slide, Nishant. Okay, then comes the anagram models. Anagram models talks about, which is poets' prior works or maybe similar poetry. Suppose the example is, poet has written, please focus on this. The night is dark and full of dash. The night is dark and full of dash. So probable words can be dreams, 30%, terrors, 25%, stars, 20%, silence, 15%, and love, 10%. Which means that if the poet says, the night is dark and full of dash, which means it cannot be love, because they are opposite things, right? Next slide, Nishant. Sentiment analysis and thematic probability. We're talking about mathematics and probability related to each other. Okay, so I'll just give the example. Suppose their first two stanzas are filled of themes of despair, hopelessness, themes of despair. You might assign probabilities based on patterns. 60% of chance that it will continue with despair theme. Okay, 20% chance that the poet shifts to themes of hope. 15% of chance philosophical turn, and 5% chance that it will reverse with joy, delight. Okay. Next slide, Nishan. Okay. Now comes the Bayesian probability, which we do Bayes theorem in school, right, sir? Yeah, man. Bayes theorem. So, using Bayesian theorem inference, we can say that suppose based on the prior analysis of poet's work, we can say that there's a 50% chance, probability half, based 50% that the poem will have an imagery of nature which will shift towards existential theme. For example, after reading the first stanza, which introduces concepts of life and death, you might update this probability to 80%, reflecting the likelihood of an existential focus on the evidence. We'll see examples later. Nishan, please next slide. So Bayesian probability, let's see the example. At first the sky was red at dawn, a crimson truth I knew, but clouds emerged and shadows spawn, a doubts were born in every hue. Next, a whisper, no, slide back Nishan. Back Nishan. A whispered breeze, I'll come in the next 5 minutes. A whispered breeze brought songs to me of golden streaks and silver rain. And now the sky once red and tree shifts color each with hint of gay. So you see these first two stanzas and the last stanza. So in this poem, the speaker begins with a firm belief the sky was red at dawn. But as more evidence comes in entire poem, doubts were born in every hue, and the sky is not red, it's always grey. That reflects the essence of the Bayesian probability, which gives the evidence as the poem progresses, and at the end, the information becomes available that what the initial start was, with the increase in probability, the end was clear. Please move ahead, Nishan. Topic modeling and latent semantic analysis. I just discussed the last example. 50% chance that the poet will talk about the passage of time. 30% chance that they will focus on the beauty of the moment, and 20% chance they will shift to the theme of the death of loss when a poem starts with a description of trees, wind, birds. A topic model might show that the poet typically moves from nature description to theme of life cycle, serenity, or certain probability. Next, Nishan. Word concurrence and lexical choices like a word beneath the silver moon I wander seeking. Peace 35%, truth 25%, love with 20%, death and life. So you can understand the poem. Beneath the silver moon I wander seeking what? You can never seek light beneath the silver moon. You understand that, right, sir? We'll generally seek what? Peace. So peace is highest probability with 35%. Next slide, please. So last is probability in poetry. So challenges and limitations. Creativity and surprise. This is almost about it. So creativity and surprise. Poetry often thrives on defying expectations. Poets might deliberately subvert patterns. So it's limitation, right? Suppose they feel, no, I don't want to continue with a similar kind of pattern which I was writing. So might deliberately subvert the patterns, making it hard to predict with certainly what comes next. Like Shakespeare did. Shakespeare was never predictable, right? He could do anything which might whimsically came to his mind. Small corpus, for lesser known poets or new works, we did not have data. AI did not have data, right? For he had few publications, so it is difficult to predict the poetry kind of, emulate the poetry. Context and culture, a poet's thoughts are influenced by personal, cultural or historical context, making the patterns more complex for the linguistic world and the AI to decipher. Next, Nishan. So how does AI replicate a poem? Briefly I tell you. AI can mimic poetry by following the rules of...
Oh, no, it's fine. Hi, I'm from the Philippines. So our country is composed of a lot of islands. Right now, As of my recollection, we have 7,101 islands. But due to climate change, I guess it lessened. But to give you a background, we have lots of beaches. We're also an agricultural country, but sadly, we don't capitalize on that. And as that fact is, we import more rice than we export. So that's a little sad about our country. But one similarity from I think I can relate to is we are also hospitable. So my standard of hospitability is already high. But when I came here, and I saw the dancers outside when I first came, I almost teared up, really, because it was my first time to experience that kind of hospitality and reception. So I guess that is our relation, being Asian people. We really like to welcome other people. And what else can I say about our country? Well, that is beautiful, and I hope that you get to visit our country, get to roam around the beaches, go around the mountains. And what else? Music. Oh, the music here is very rich. That's the first time I saw a piano accordion combination, some kind of that instrument. With the Philippines, we also have lots of ethnic instruments, but mostly drums that have different tones. Is there? Yes. That's all I would just want to say. Thank you again for the opportunity. It's very nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving us your valuable time. Now I request our chief guest, Mr. Ravi Shankar Shukla, sir, to have a few words with us.
Thank you very much. I'll be brief, knowing that it's a valedictory session, so all must be in a bit of hurry to wind it up before you start unlearning what you have learned. So first of all, I must convey my thanks to Professor Shukla Mohanty, who has been a pioneer in education, especially in women education in this area. And considering the fact that she has been at the helm of affairs at different educational institutions, and that too at a time when you can imagine gender discrimination and other issues must have been rampant. And the way she has inspired a generation of students, especially female students, is something which is really respectable and inspirational, and that is the primary reason why and especially for the younger generation, the fact that these things have not gone all together, and these things are even present in our society, in our work atmosphere, other places also. Looking at her, you should get the kind of inspiration to fight against it, to stand for what is right, and also to make a niche for yourself in the area in which you are aspiring to do good, to excel, and not to be defeated by the difficulties which you face. So again, now coming back to the topic, I have a basic computer literacy. I am a student from human rights law background, and my association with the artificial intelligence is limited to the fact that I've been used to giving some commands or framing some questions where I've been a beneficiary at the receiving end in terms of sometimes getting appropriate response and sometimes getting something which was not intended. But again, this is definitely technologically speaking, it's definitely a remarkable advance. I remember when I was at the academy, our director used to tell us that time is limited. We have only 24 hours in a day, only 30 to 31 days, and sometimes maybe 28 days in a month. And in that way, human intelligence is also something which is in a way limited. It can vary, but it can't vary to a great extent. Someone can be little bit intelligent, someone can be more intelligent, but there can't be much difference. So human intelligence is also a variable which is relatively limited. Time is also limited. So what is the factor which is going to make a big change? And that factor is technology. Something which can bring exponential changes. And that is where I feel that both interventions as well as investment of time, energy, resources in technology and artificial intelligence being one facet of it is very important. Again, what I'm worried about is that artificial intelligence should not increase the gap between the haves and the have-nots, its accessibility, its availability, and its utilization among the students or among the residents of the rural areas from those areas which are relatively inaccessible. That should also be prioritized, and that is where the role of government becomes very important. We traditionally know that the government's role comes into picture when there is a market failure. And with the advent of artificial intelligence, machine learning and other facets, we may be heading towards a situation of market failure unless until we ensure a level playing field for all the players. So again, this would be definitely something towards all of us would be looking, and it's great that such an initiative has been taken in educational institution in rural area where the students mostly having relatively limited resources. And I also thank to all the participants who are present, who are not present, and might have contributed early for their time as well as their valuable suggestions and participations, because you never know, these small interactions may bring big changes in the lives of so many seemingly normal and simple people. So again, thank you very much to all of you. My last message to all the participants, all the students would be that whatever you are trying to do and wherever your heart is, try to pursue it with the fullest, without any inhibition, because only if you involve yourself in the work that you are pursuing, in the efforts that you are undertaking, you are going to get that kind of result which will be course changing or life changing for you. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. In spite of having so much busy schedule, you came here and guided us. Thank you so much for that. Now I would like to call upon the stage our guardian. He is the one who is a good orator. He is the one who has led us to a right path. He is the one, so almost 90% of the faculties are the student of Dr. Saroj Kumar Mishra, sir. So I welcome you to the stage, sir. Please come and enlighten us with your rightful words. Sir, please come.
Thank you. Honorable DC Ravi Shankar Shukla sir, Director, Institute of Education, Principal, and gently Dr. Shukla Manthi, who is ex-VC of Polan University, and she is serving as Educational Advisor in Higher Education in Odisha with Governor Odisha, Sridhar Das. So, and the participants, delegates from all across the globe, I welcome you on behalf of Institute for Education, and I'm privileged that I got this opportunity in this international seminar, particularly on this very relevant topic. This is artificial intelligence, and I'm delighted to see all these delegates from different parts of the world. Artificial intelligence is a technical subject, and much more we have to know about this. And with this seminar, international seminar, we could learn something about artificial intelligence, and we have seen so many deliberations, paper presentation during this seminar. I'm simply user of, and you all may be user of this artificial intelligence. When we use social media platforms, usually Facebook, we all are using. When some content, digital content appears on your mobile, then you like it or dislike it. Mostly, you like the content, and the content similar to that previous content that appears again and again. How it happens? It is simple thing done by artificial intelligence. So, in that sense, we all are user of this artificial intelligence, which is latest technology in the world. And I'm very grateful on behalf of this Institute for Education, particularly DC South is here, and we are planning much ahead of this. Our Institute for Education is planning university in this remote area, and this remote area needs great effort towards higher education. So, when we are talking with the madam or director or principal, principal of this Institute for Education, they always say that we are facing land problem. That is our prime need when we are planning about university in this remote area. So, sir, with kind request, I am submitting this fact that you are DC of this Saraikela, and if it is possible, so many government lands are available. If it is possible, you can take over it. We will serve our society, particularly this remote society, in a better way. And I think you have achieved 100% literacy. So many awards are with you from government of India side. So I think your dynamism will help us towards shaping higher education in this remote area. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request all our esteemed guests on the stage. It's time to release our souvenir. And there is one book, Rosary of Emotions by Aman Tiwari sir. I request Sanju Anand sir to please come on the stage. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
brief, knowing that it's a very active session, so all must be in a bit of hurry to wind it up before you start unlearning what you have learned. So first of all, I must convey my thanks to in this area, and considering the fact that she has been at the helm of affairs at different education institutions, and that too at a time when you can imagine gender discrimination and other issues must have been rampant. And the way she has inspired generation of students, especially female students, is something which is really respectable and inspirational, and especially for the younger generation, the fact that these things have not gone all together, and these things are even present in our society, in our work atmosphere, other places also, to do good, excel, and not to be defeated by the difficulties which you face. So again, now coming back to the topic, I have a basic computer literacy. I am a student from human rights law background, and my association with artificial intelligence is limited to the fact that I've been used to giving some commands or framing some questions, where I've been a beneficiary at the receiving end in terms of sometimes getting appropriate response and sometimes getting something which was not intended. But again, this is definitely technologically speaking, it's definitely a remarkable advance. I remember when I was at the academy, our director used to tell us that time is limited. We have only 24 hours in a day, only 30 to 31 days, and sometimes maybe 58 days in a month. And in that way, human intelligence is also something which is in a way limited. It can vary, but it can't vary to a great extent. Someone can be little bit intelligent, someone can be more intelligent, but there can't be much difference. So human intelligence is also a variable which is relatively limited. Time is also limited. So what is the factor which is going to make a big change? And that factor is technology. Something which can bring exponential changes. And that is where I feel that both interventions as well as investment of time, energy, resources in technology and artificial intelligence being one facet of it is very important. Again, what I'm worried about is that artificial intelligence should not increase the gap between the haves and the have-nots, its accessibility, its availability, and its utilization among the students or among the residents of the rural areas, among those areas which are relatively inaccessible. That should also be prioritized, and that is where the role of government becomes very important. We traditionally know that the government's role comes into the picture when there is a market there. And with the advent of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other facets, we may be heading towards a situation of market failure unless until we ensure a level playing field for all the players. So again, this would be definitely something towards all of us looking, and it's great that such an initiative has been taken in education institution in rural area where the students mostly having relatively limited resources. And I also thank to all the participants who are present, who are not present, and might have contributed early for their time as well as their valuable suggestions and participations, because you never know, these small interactions may bring big changes in the lives of so many seemingly normal and simple people. So again, thank you very much to all of you. And, my last message to all the participants, all the students would be that whatever you are trying to do and wherever your heart is trying to pursue it with the fullest, without any inhibition, because only if you involve yourself in the work that you are pursuing, in the efforts that you are undertaking, you are going to get that kind of result which will be course changing or life changing for you. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. In spite of having so much busy schedule, you came here and guided us. Thank you so much for that. Now I would like to call upon the stage our guardian. He is the one who is a good orator. He is the one who has led us to a right path. He is the one, so almost 90% of the faculties are the student of Dr. Savish Kumar Mishra, sir. So I welcome you to the stage, sir. Please come and enlighten us with your wonderful words. Sir, please come.
Learn something about artificial intelligence, and we have seen so many generations, people's generation during this seminar. I'm simply user of, and you all may be user of this artificial intelligence when we use social media platforms, usually Facebook, we all are using. When some content, digital content appears on your mobile, then you will like it or dislike it. Mostly, you like the content, and the content similar to that previous content that appears again and again. How it happens? It is simple thing done by artificial intelligence. So, in that sense, we all are user of this artificial intelligence, which is latest technology in the world. And I'm very grateful on behalf of this Institute for Education, particularly DC South is here, and we are planning much ahead of this. Our Institute for Education is planning university in this remote area, and this remote area needs great effort towards higher education. So, when we are talking with the madam or director or principal, principal of this Institute for Education, they always say that we are facing land problem. That is our prime need when we are planning about university in this remote area. So, sir, with kind request, I am submitting this fact that you are DC of this curricula, and if it is possible, so many government lands are available. If it is possible, you can think over it. We will serve our society, particularly this remote society, in a better way. And I think you have achieved 100% literacy. So many awards are with you from Government of India side. So I think your dynamism will help us towards shaping higher education in this remote area. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Sanjay Anand sir to please come on the stage. Please.
very much. And respectable history and all the respectable persons in the room. I really want to express my sincere gratitude to Prof. Hitler for according me this every experience I was sharing with Bob, every experience I have had from the moment I entered the gate and into this room, 90% I have never experienced anyway in my life. I have seen the enthusiasm, checking programs to enhance the your academic status, because education is the key for any kind of development. We are talking of all these artificial intelligence and everything. These are things which come and go. Education will remain with us. We have to remember our culture, our cultural heritage, what we have which others do not have. Those are the things which we have to conserve while we are educating ourselves. I really appreciate everything, every moment which I have had here. It will stay with me for the rest of my life, and I will be sharing these experiences with all those people and communities I'm going to be in contact with. I was very much touched, and I spoke to Prof. Shukla that we are going to make sure that we have an annual. I hope, and it is my dream to see all of you coming for your postgraduate studies with us. I am going to come back, Prof. I'm going to come back, and I'm making this commitment right now. I'm giving myself. I would like to have more time with the students. I thank you all for your wonderful time, exceptional hospitality, and the food Prof was very delicious.
Thank you, sir.
It's an opportunity for me to be getting an opportunity to present before such eminent persons, learned persons, and having to share my experience in computer science, particularly in emerging technologies of AI. But it has been a great experience in terms of hospitality, in terms of getting an opportunity to interact with so many people, so many learned people from across the world, and to think of bringing education in such a remote area. We talk about Society 5.0, we were discussing in during lectures, Industry 5.0, which is about connecting artificial intelligence with human intelligence. Human intelligence, human first. So that lies at the root of the society. And with such assembly, such gathering and knowledge sharing. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much, sir. Now we will be having certificate distribution. Yes, sir. Narayan Singh Gurnath, sir, is the professor at Eastern University, Vietnam. From Malaysia. We have then we have Anisha Patricia from Philippines. Then we have Dr. Dipanjan Shrestha, Associate Professor, Vietnam University.
Yeah, that's what. Thank you.